What's up, vapors? Thanks for checking out Daily Vape TV. My name is Nick, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Ardent RDA. Alright guys, so the random question of the day is, what food would best represent the area in which you live? Well, I'm from New England, and I feel like we're best known for our clam chowder, and I feel like that's fairly fitting. I love clam chowder myself. Not the Rhode Island stuff, not the Manhattan stuff. It's got to be that classic New England clam chowder. But with that, I want to hear from you guys out there. What food best represents where you live? So today we've got another one of Stan Tenacious TX Vape's creations, the Ardent RDA, with a big huge shout out and thank you going to Timesvape for sending this one my way for the purpose of making this video. When Stan first told us that he was making a Dreamer hybrid RDA, I was super excited. I absolutely love the Dreamer mechanical mod, and now I have the perfect topper for it. So taking a quick look at LucidRDA.com, this one comes in 5 different finish options, including black, brushed stainless, polished stainless, brass, and copper, and it's going to run you about 40 bucks. If you're already a Dreamer owner, I would highly suggest picking up the Ardent to go along with it. If you want to do just that, make sure you click the link right down there in the description that goes to my website. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive down to the close-up view and take a better look at this thing. Alright guys, so as you can see, we've got the Ardent RDA in its original box, so let's quickly take a look around the packaging, then we'll talk about what's inside. So first and foremost, lovely bit of design here. We've got a nice zebra print going on with a nice gradient, and Ardent written across the front there. We've got a picture of the device right there. We've got Be Tenacious, which is one of Stan's taglines. Timesvape information right there. On this side here, Timesvape logo. On this side here, Stan's logo. And on the top here, we've got the Dreamer Hybrid. And on the back, some basic information, what comes in the box, and a few of the specs with another Stan logo right there. Scratch and check at the bottom, and a UPC. So let's just quickly go ahead and take a look at what we get inside the box. First thing is this little user manual here. It's not the best. It's fold out. And also, it doesn't have any graphics. I would really like to see a graphic on this user manual here, because it can definitely get a bit confusing when you have multiple pins and stuff like that going on. So we get a nice little screwdriver for the hybrid pin connector. We have the Ardent RDA itself, as you can see right there. Take a look at that in just a second. We have a spare drip tip. This is a clear resin of some description. And we have our obligatory parts box right here in the bottom. So let's go ahead and take a look at what we get. Yeah, it's the obligatory bag of parts. So you get a spare set of just about everything in there. You have another little mini screwdriver for your posts. You have a spare 510 connection right there. You have a full set of spare screws, spare springs, and I don't even know what that little plastic piece is in there. But yeah, you get it. It's spare and it's in there. So there you go. Alright guys, let's talk about the specs. First of all, it's a 27mm dripping only atomizer. It has a unique spring-loaded clamping system, smooth honeycomb side bottom airflow, deep juice well, barrel lock system, removable 510 for direct-to-Dreamer hybrid threading. It comes with a PEI 810 tip and a frosted 810 tip as well. Alright, so let's go over the Ardent from top to bottom as we typically do, starting off with the drip tip up top here. As you can see, this is the Ultem tip. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of Ultem, so I will not be using this one. I'll be putting it back in the box in exchange for this one right here, which is the clear frosted drip tip. It's a little bit low profile for my liking. I really wish it was a tiny bit taller, but otherwise not so bad. As you can see, fairly simple little 810 tip there. Moving on, we've got the top of the RDA cap, and as you can see, it's got these little grooves cut into it, which is really nice to be able to twist your airflow or just take your cap on and off. Very simple. I like that a lot. As you can see on the inside section there, it has an O-ring, which fits most 810 drip tips as well, so you can fit whatever you got on there if you don't like the ones that are included in the box. So as far as engravings are concerned, there's really only 2 to speak of. We have the Ardent logo on this side of the cap, and on the opposite side of that, we have the Timesvape logo right there. These are very, very shallow and non-obtrusive engravings. I actually kind of like that because it kind of shows off the RDA a little bit more than just the fancy engravings. So here is the airflow section. As you can see, 10 holes in the honeycomb style right there with 3 big air inlets behind it. And these are, of course, fully adjustable. You just rotate the top cap like that, and it cuts off the airflow holes behind it. So here's the build deck with coils still in it. I just wanted to show you guys how I have this thing set up. As you can see here, I have the coils slightly lowered from the top of the clamp section there, but not quite as low as the actual airflow section. So the coils sit directly in front of the airflow, which I really like. Nice deep juice well on this thing, and you can see the flush flat-headed screws on the top there of the clamps, and these are spring-loaded clamps as well, so no more flipping your RDA upside down to install your coils. So without coils in it, you can see the build deck a little bit better. You can also see the airflow section in a little bit more detail there. It has that nice angle to it, and you can also see the spring-loaded clamps. So these, let's just try to get that spring action going. These have springs in them, so they pop right up when you loosen them. Really, really convenient, no hassle whatsoever there. And they're very sturdy posts as well. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, these 2 O-rings at the bottom section here are really not my favorites. I just cannot seem to get on with them, and every time I get a little bit of juice on them, the cap falls right off really easily. All right guys, so real quick, I'm gonna show you how to transform this thing from 510 mode to hybrid mode. So first thing you're gonna do is grab the big chunky screwdriver that came in the box and remove your 510 pin. So you just unscrew it like that. It comes right out. Then you unscrew the base piece right here, put that to the side, and now we screw it onto our streamer. Ta-da! Now we have a hybrid RDA. All right, guys, so that's about all I've got for you in this little close-up section here. Let's go back to the main screen, have a quick vape on this thing, and we'll talk about it some more. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the close-up section of this video. Now let's talk about my personal thoughts about this device, some pros, some cons, and whether or not it's worth purchasing. Starting off with the pros, my first pro is the smoothness of the airflow. It is super duper smooth, very, very quiet as well, and that's one thing I absolutely love about this device, because one of my biggest pet peeves about RDAs is the loud, whistly, turbulent airflows. I just cannot stand that. This is the exact opposite of that. You get no turbulence whatsoever. It feels very smooth and natural when you're vaping on it, and I just absolutely love it. My second pro for this one is that it's perfect for you Dreamer owners out there. If you have a Dreamer mechanical mod, then you absolutely need to get yourself an Ardent RDA for the top of it. It's just the perfect combination in my book because it reduces the height a little bit, reduces the weight a little bit, and it just looks super, super cool. I really hope Stan comes out with the anodized aluminum caps because I want the full purple Dreamer setup. My third pro for this one is the build deck has a very wide stance to it, which is great for the bigger exotic wires as well as series coils. Now, personally, I love frame staples in the Ardent because it just has a very wide stance to it, and it's going to be great for the bigger, wider, flatter coils, as well as series coils. I'm pretty sure you can pack about 20 wraps of 24 gauge in there. But with that, if you have a stacked Dreamer section, this one's going to be perfect for you. And my fourth and final pro for this one is that not only is it a hybrid for the Dreamer mechanical, but it also comes with a 510 adapter as well, so you can put it on any big box mod that you have. It's got a very big stance to it, so if you like the bigger, chunkier RDAs and you have a bigger, chunkier box mod to put it on, then this thing's going to be absolutely perfect for you. Honestly, I like putting it on the Warlock's hammer I've got back there. It makes for an excellent combination with that one. Alright guys, so moving on to the cons. My first con is that it's not the easiest thing in the world to build on. Now, I did struggle with this one a little bit when building it for the first time because of how wide the posts are set apart. You really have to unscrew those screws a whole lot in order to get your wires in there, and even with that, sometimes it hit the part of the clamp that faces downwards. It was just a little bit tricky, and I would definitely not recommend this to the newbie builder out there. This is more for you kind of intermediate to experienced builders. My second con for this one is that the O-rings are very weak on it. it. It doesn't pass my O-ring test. Just with a little shake just like that, the mod falls. And honestly, it's not the first time that I've gotten a bad experience with O-rings from a Timesvape product. Pretty much everything I've tried from them has the same exact issue, and I just hope that one day they can get it right. My third con today is that the posts themselves take up a lot of room in the build deck. Now, this design choice is not inherently wrong, but I was just really curious as to why Stan went with the over-engineered clamp style design over something like a simple little postless deck like the Rebirth RDA or the Axial. I feel like that style build deck would work a lot better in this system here. I'm really not sure why he went with that choice, but personally I would prefer a postless deck over what we have in this one. And my fourth and final con for this device is that it's very easy to over drip. Now, if you are meticulous with your dripping habits, then you should be fairly safe with this one. However, the upward facing airflow holes are definitely not helping its case. With that, I am not the biggest over dripper in the world, but I tend to get a lot of excess juice all over the outside of the cap whenever I drip it right down from the top, and then it gets everywhere and messy and sticky and gross, and definitely is a bit frustrating. So at the end of the day, is this device worth purchasing? Would I go out of my way to pick one of these up if I didn't get this one in for a review? I'm going to say yes to this one, especially if you're a Dreamer owner. If you have a Dreamer mechanical mod, then you should definitely have an Ardent on top of it. And even more so if you have a stacked Dreamer. I feel like this one would absolutely shine with a stacked Dreamer. And with that, I feel like I need to get myself a stack section for this guy right here. But with that, if you guys want to pick up one of these for yourself, I'll have a link on my website. Link to that will be right down there in the description below. But that about does it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe for more videos just like this. Leave your comments down in the box below, and make sure you check out the advocacy and my social media links right down there in the description. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and as always, vape on.